Hey Dad, I thought I would talk you through the features on this pack since I probably can't get you to come riding with me. This is an Osprey Syncro 10. It's a hydration pack designed for cycling. The first thing I was looking for in a hydration pack was one that would be cool on the trail. My habits from road biking are you're going to sweat a ton, and I really didn't want anything that was going to be sweaty on my back. It sounded like a horrible idea to carry a backpack. This one is an internal frame pack. It's got a steel rigid frame that's curved away from the back, and then the whole back, you can see this mesh is suspended. There's in the center there's a good couple inches of open space between the suspended mesh back and the taut frame of the pack itself. So there's total airflow. All of the other packs that I looked at had various, foam blocks with gaps in between or waffled foam that intended to allow air in. This is the only one that it doesn't even touch your back. So that seemed pretty cool. I thought you would enjoy some of the features on here. Just are nice touches. This is Osprey's lid lock feature for helmets. It's just a big toggle that you stick in between the air vents on your helmet and then flatten it out and hold your helmet on the back of the pack if you're walking around. You can even adjust this with a little little side release tension buckle here, so you can tighten that in against the pack if you're not using it. The hydration features are pretty cool. It's got, here's the tube coming out of the reservoir. It's got loops so you can secure it to either shoulder strap depending on how you prefer to use it. It's got a nice silicone bite valve, and then this is a fun feature that it seems like, I'm not sure if Osprey came up with this first and other people are copying it, but it's popular now. It's a strong magnet that fits on the chest strap like so. So you strap it down your shoulder so it doesn't flop around, and then you've got your chest strap here, and it just clips right on there. Hands free, you can reach down and grab it, or if you're flexible enough, you can reach down and just grab it with your mouth. And one of the nice details in this area, the chest strap is even suspended with a little bit of elastic. So down here there's a rigid loop in the nylon backed by double elastic, and then that can stretch a little bit to keep it comfortable on your chest when it's flapping around. The straps are entirely mesh with a rigid plastic rail for the chest strap to slide up and down. There's a little structure given to the straps here with slits in closed cell foam. So again, it's very soft, very pliable, and still focused completely on airflow. The hip belt is very minimal, and it's got a couple of flaps that ride on the hips, and they're entirely mesh as well. If you don't want to use the hip belt, it's nice if the pack is bouncing around, but if you don't want the strap on your chest, you can just cinch it all the way down, tuck the straps out of the way, and that's held flat on the pack. The pockets on it, it's got, I also, to put this in context, compared this with the Raptor 14, which is probably the pack of Ospreys that gets the most glowing reviews. It's heavier, it didn't have the suspended back, it had a waffled foam back, and then it had way more bells and whistles and pockets. It had a roll-out tool pouch, and I didn't need any of that stuff. So this is just pockets. It's got an external gear pocket with this some kind of lightly rippled technical fabric that looks real fancy, but this is intended to be a non-scratch pouch for stuff like sunglasses and phones. The main gear pouch opens kind of at a diagonal here. It's got a couple of mesh pouches for food. It's got a key loop, and if you can see down in here, there are a couple of elastic loops. This is for holding a pump or a shock pump in place while you're out riding. And then the depth of the bag is impressive. It goes, all the way down to this long, thin bottom on the outside pocket. And before I get into the hydration pack, the other interesting feature on the outside, There's this little pouch down here. We got a tag explaining it's a rain cover. So I'm very impressed by the little features here. There's a little drain hole right on the rain cover pouch. So if you put the rain cover away wet, it'll drain out the rain cover containing pocket. This is a reflective strap for you to hook a tail light onto if you want a blinky light if you're riding at night, commuting. If you pop out the self-contained rain cover, it's got a toggle so you can remove it if you want to. The rain cover itself is reflective. It's got the Osprey logo on it. That's fancy. And here, where we had the same reflective strap as before, welded onto this waterproof nylon, there's a little strap where again you can put your tail light even on the rain cover. So I thought that was a pretty cool feature. And then the toggle just comes off like this if you want to detach the rain cover and not use it. You know, you could also use this pocket for gels or keys or what have you. So in the hydration features, that's the largest, the main pocket of the whole thing, and that's a double zipper here. There are some more clever features. This pass-through for the tube is trapezoidal, so it'll fit the actual drinking tube out in either direction without stressing or fraying that out. It's neoprene, it's a little stretchy, so that's designed to last. There is a just a little click and release. I'm sure there's kind of a plumbing term for that, but there's a little O-ring and a little release buckle there. So you can even leave the tube in place on the pack when you take the reservoir out to fill it. And there's even a little side release buckle there to hold the top of the hydration reservoir in place. So we take that out and look at that. It's a 2.5 liter reservoir. It's made for Osprey by another company. Tube goes down to the base for drinking. Up here, again, instead of a large, what's the word I'm looking for? Instead of a large rigid opening here, it's got a flexible opening that I thought was extremely clever. This top hanger just slides off pretty smoothly. Then you open this up and it's just a folded over closure, like a you know, a little whitewater pouch. It only folds over once. There's some kind of intense self-sticking material here to give it a little more closure. And then you just open that up and the whole top just opens like a Ziploc bag. So you can hang it upside down for drying. Just prop that open on something like a paper towel holder. And then you just close it back up and fold it over and slide this back on. It's even got a little retention loop so you're not going to lose that. And it's hard to see, I'm not going to fill it up now, but inside there are a couple of collapsible ribs so that when it's fully, you know, when it's inflated with water, when it's full of water, it retains some of its shape. So it's very flexible, but it's not going to flop around entirely due to those ribs in there. And then the last thing that impressed me so much about the overall setup, obviously it's very comfortable, it fits very well. I was extremely impressed with the ergonomics, but then I wondered about, you know, it's such soft fabrics, you know, all this gentle closed cell foam and the comfortable suspended back and all these thin nylons. I thought, well, I'm not sure if I want to get something that fragile and go beat it up in the mud on a mountain bike. Well, Osprey has a lifetime guarantee. They've got, what is it, almighty guarantee. It's basically like Patagonia. They'll replace it or repair it for free for the lifetime of the product, except for the reservoir, which obviously is a consumable item. They actually warranty the reservoir for a year, which I thought was pretty good too for a thin piece of plastic. So that's the Osprey Syncro 10 pack. It has exactly the features I was looking for and no more. It's light, it's comfortable, it's guaranteed. I got this one at REI. And thank you very much, Dad, for my birthday present. I love you. Good night.